Hello everyone, welcome to our math lesson for today. We are still talking about fractions. So just to review our terminology, the numerator is the top number in a fraction, the denominator is the bottom number, and there is a line between them so that you know you're not just looking at two numbers on top of each other. Now, one thing to notice about these words is they both end with A-T-O-R, A-T-O-R. So that's something you can look out for. All right, we're going to be talking about this fraction today and different ways we can show it. The way that you read this fraction is 1/4. Now you could also describe it as 1/4. That's not incorrect, but 1/4 is more common. For example, that's what we use when we talk about money. So that's probably where you've heard the word quarter before. And more typically, when people talk about dividing something into 4 pieces, they'll talk about quarters. So that's the word we're going to go with today. But this number will explain that things are in 4s, okay? So the first way that we have talked about fractions is talked about dividing something into 4 equal parts. So this circle, much like our medicine wheel, is divided into 4 equal parts, and 1/4 would just be one section of it, okay? Now, another way we can understand a 1/4 is we can think about the 1/4 measuring cup. Now what that means is that here is the cup measure. Let's see, yes, I have that the right way, good. 1 cup, you would need 4 full quarter cups, and you would have a full cup right there. Just gonna pantomime that. Another way to understand 1/4 is to have 4 objects and only talk about one of them. So in this case, let's say the blue one, because we've got a blue theme going here. The blue magnet is 1/4 of this group of magnets. So, okay, so it's 1 out of 4. And finally, what we've also learned is that as long as each group is equal and that there's 4 of them, we can describe a group as being a quarter. So again, we're going with blue right there. Now we're saying that this group of blues is 1/4 of all of these magnets in this group. Now this is taking us back to multiplication a little bit here and division. So let's take a look here. So we've got 4 groups of 3, I should say. So let's count by 3s. Ready? 3, 6, 9, 12. And 3 of them make 1/4. Then there's 3 other groups that are not part of that. So as you can see, that is 1/4 of the whole group. All right. So that is how you can show 1/4. Bam. All right, we're switching gears here. We're looking at 1/3 now. Now, we don't say 1/3 or 1/3, we say 1/3. So the first way we talked about that is we divide a whole thing into 3 equal parts. And you'll remember that when you cut these apart, they are all exactly the same size. It's important that they're equal or they're not really a fraction, all right? So here we've colored in one section. That section is 1/3 of that circle. We also talked about 1/3 of a cup. And if you were to take 3 equal portions, it would fill up this cup measure. So that's another way that means. Remember, the 1/4 cup was 4 of these. 1/3 cup is only 3 of these because it's a little bit bigger, okay? Then we take a look at now only 3 objects, okay? Before it was 4 because we were going to get 1/4. Now it's only 3. And we'll make a circle here. This is 1/3 of this group of objects. So 1 out of 3, 1/3. Same thing here. Because the groups all have 3 in them, we can look at these 3 pink ones as 1/3 of the whole group. Good. Whoop. All right, and now we're looking at 1/2. So you'll remember when we take a whole object, 1/2 is simply if you split it into 2 equal portions. And just to remind you, 1/2 is the same as 2/4. See that? If you have 2 of these colored in, it's the same as half of this circle. Same thing with the measuring cups here. This is the half cup measure. You would only need 2 of these to fill up a cup, and 2 of these 1/4 cups would fill up a half cup, because again, 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Also, if you're looking at objects, if you had 2 objects, one of them would be considered 1/2 of this group. And finally, if you have a group of objects and the groups are equal, you would consider half of them to be 1 equal part of that. So 1, 2, 3 of this, 1, 2, 3 of that. This is half of the objects right there. So there you go. That is different ways of showing fractions. I hope that made that a little more clear. Have a great day.